of laughter because I spent the last 5 minutes annoying my mother with the fucking dementia gag. Because I'm like, I love you. And she's like, I love you too. And I'm like, so you're not going to say it back? She's like, I did say it back. I love you. She goes, I love you. So you're not going to say it back? And she's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, I love you. And I kept going like that. And then I occasionally interrupted it with, hey mom, have I told you? She's like, what? Have I told you about my short-term dementia? And she started laughing. Hey mom, have I told you about my short-term dementia? I like give it a 3-second pause. Hey mom, have I told you about my short-term dementia? I love you. So you're not gonna say it back? I love you. So you're not gonna say it back? And then I wouldn't say gaslighting, but like it feels that way. And she's fucking ignoring me because like I'm just standing there and she's not ignoring. Like she's ignoring me because I'm doing the same stuff, right? And she's like trying to keep composure. Like, why are you so fucking persistent? And I go, because I want to hear you say you love me. And she said, I already said that. And I said, when? Have I told you I have short-term dementia? It's like, it's because you're annoying me. What have I done to annoy you? What have I done to annoy you? What have I done to annoy you? Because like, she's saying it more like, she says she loves me, but it's more an aggressive, like a dismissive tone because of how many times it's saying it. And I'm like, and she says it like calmly, like, okay, I love you. I'm like, I love you too. And I lean down and kiss her on the forehead, and I go, hey mom, and she goes, you better fucking not start. I swear. And I couldn't hold it together anymore because she knew exactly what I was gonna say. And I just trying to keep a straight face while she's not respond. It's fine. Like when she's not responding, but when she looks at me in silence, it's hard to keep a straight face. I'm fucking giggling. Part of me fucking wants to just call her and just goes, I love you, so you're not gonna say it when she's fuck with her, but I mean, like, but then I guess, you know, it outlived its, you know, it outlived its humor. Like my dementia, it didn't last very long. Like my dementia, it didn't last very long. Like my dementia, it didn't last very long. I'm going to fuck the backrooms monster. I know I gotta restart because of the way the, you know. Eh. I'm trying, I don't know why. I swear my charger is trying to get it so fucking... I don't know, I'm sorry, I'm just distracted by the cute expressions, right? Also, like, I imagine there's a massive like, I know there's a time skip in game, but I mean the... For the Charlotte variant, right? So as I've, you know, talked about, this Charlotte variant has a, not a disability necessarily, but it's not good with, you know, talking to people. So she's more, she needs a lot of help, right? And I imagine by the time of when she was with him, and by the time he passed away, she's improved a lot over in the sense of, like, she can, you know, speak for herself, she can act naturally around, like, other people socially. Yeah, sorry. I spaced out a bit. Yeah, so I'm distracted by the whatever. My brain's... Sorry. Yeah, so like she's doing a lot better, like physically, so like she still has a little bit support from friends and family of like having to live with other people, because a lot of like she knows the basic of being a person, right? Right, she knows the basics of being a person, but like the whole thing of living on her own she can't do. So where the fuck is... I really couldn't tell you. I really don't understand. I might have to delete this game because I'm not the fucking smartest. I'm really trying to understand, you know? Duh, 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 duh. Like, I'm a bit confused. Is this, like, the number, like, for the code? I'm so lost. Yeah. Wait a minute. One. Are those the plants? How many plants? No, it doesn't make sense then. This doesn't make sense. Let me just be horny with my old boyfriend in peace. Like, I'm genuinely lost. Yeah, I think I'm done with this game. I know I just started, I'll add this to the playlist as well, but like, I really don't know. It's like, I was hoping this would be a casual point-and-click game, not a fucking puzzle game. Add this to the playlist, right? And so clarification, let me talk about the Charlotte variant, right? To catch, basically, because I don't want it to be a short episode, I'll basically do a recap based on what or who Charlotte is, right? So Charlotte is kind of like a human thing hybrid. We don't know what she is, but she's not entirely human. So she has like long point, so quote unquote nails, right? Where it's like she has long like nails and toenails, but they're not really nails, they're actually like a part of her like flesh, you know? And she, I guess I wouldn't say escaped from where she was from, but something happened that she was either released or let go, right? And because of her being raised as a lab rat, an animal, her cognitive motor functions aren't exactly there, so she's more animalistic and like basically I would say animalistic and childish, right? Because like, oh fuck. Hopefully someone can help me, like in the future, maybe help me rewrite some of, like, to use proper words, right? So she's, how do I, because any way I say it, it's gonna sound weird, right? So physically she's matured, but not mentally, right? And basically the owl dude basically adopted her and basically helped her become, is trying to teach her basic things, right? Because the owl thinks, you know, compared to every other person, you're the first person that's not a person, you know? But like in a kinder way, if that makes sense. So like we're both not people, so, you know, you can trust me, right? And basically, he kind of adopted her, and in the sense, the more she learned, the more, like, she grew mentally as well, if that's the case. Like, and I'm not saying like a sudden shift of like learning a few blocks makes her like, you know, like she's still mentally not all there because she was treated like an animal, raised as an animal, and because of that, she only trusts him because he's another fellow animal, right? But over the years, he's helped her, you know, her brain mature, you know, mentally, but she still acts like animalistic, like more likely to climb on all fours and like digging her nails into the, like, the ground or whatever, because it's like, it's not necessarily that she can't learn, but it's more of a, how do I say it? It's like a comfort reflex, right? She feels more comfortable and freely, like, basically climbing on all fours, but she can stand on her hind legs when it's like, you know, supper time, eat with a fork, you know? And it's like, look, I don't mind, you know, and Al loves her for her. And I imagine, like, this is where it gets, I would say, morally gray-ish, where it's like, because he raised her, right? But then, because he helped her mature, it sounds bad, because I don't know the right words, where he helped raise her, right? And so, at some point, they get together when she has the mental maturity to be able to, you know, date. And it's less of a romantic thing, but it's less of a romantic thing and more just her wanting to stay by his side, because she's come across a lot of people and they looked at her with doubt, terror, paranoia, because she's not like other people, right? But he just looks at her like a person, and she feels comforted just being around him, right? Although she does get a little bit paranoid when he goes out to play music for money or whatever, you know, when she has to stay inside, because even though she's comforted around him, it doesn't mean she's comforted around other people and can still act quite animalistic and violent and barbaric when, like, threatened, like animals do, right? And I imagine there's a big leap between of that and then when he did pass away, her brain kind of filled in the gaps and matured somehow, in the sense of, yeah, she's learned a lot of things of how to be a person, but it's like bills, taxes, all that other shit. She does, you know, she can't do that, so she can't live on her own, but she doesn't live with other people. I think it's more the tenants take pity out of her, and, you know, she's trying her best to behave and be a person. And I imagine that, you know, her husband, the owl dude, you know, was friendly with everyone. So he probably, you know, he's like, oh yeah, she's a little bit rowdy, but she's a, you know, good person. And because of the relationship between the owl and the, you know, the apartment tenant person, I like to imagine that she kind of was given like the the grandmother status or whatever, so like she doesn't need to interact with this variant, right? But still treats her like a family member because the owl dude was a family member, and seeing how much the owl dude cared for Charlotte feels sympathy. So like, she doesn't really have lights, but like she uses the sunbeam and like stuff like that. So she still has water and stuff and can cook for herself. But like a lot of the stuff is like, because it'd be expensive for an abandoned apartment, she can't have a lot of things. Like she can have things physically, but it means like the electricity is a no-go, as well as I mean, she has the choice to have heating on, but Charlotte just chooses not to, and rather snuggles into the blanket her husband had, where it's like it was her husband, but at the time when she was still like animalistic in the brain, she kind of claimed it as her own, and it's like a comforting smell, like the smell of his feathers in a non-weird way, if that's weird, sorry. And so like she could have heating, but she rather all his big clothes are too big for him, just holding it, covering herself in a pile of filthy laundry, that smell of him, where she's very hesitant to wash his clothes because she doesn't want to wash off the smell, right? And I like to imagine that the grandmother, or the tenant, right? The landlord, sorry. Like, what she does is basically, she kind of, somehow, with a friend, replicated his scent, and basically to make her happy when the clothes are washed, whether it's the soap itself or she comes in the room with a spare key, she sprays the clothes with cologne that give that, comforting feeling. And it's like, she tries her best to stay out of Charlotte's way. It's not that Charlotte will act violently, but she's just so emotionally distraught at his death, she blocks out literally everyone that tries to talk to her. And, the only thing she perceives is, like, doors and things that, like, basically inanimate objects. I think the only thing she does perceives is, like, trees and stuff, and things that can't actually make noise to talk to her. Because, like, it was hard to explain, but I think I saved it. Because what I was trying to avoid saying, right, is like I want to kind of describe that she has like a mental or social disability, right? Because like I want to ship the characters, right? But I don't want it to like, because I don't want to use the word to come across as like, oh, she's physically like mature, but mentally she's still like a child. That's what I'm trying to avoid, like, because that's fucking weird if I'm trying to ship the characters like that, where it's like, I think it's like, but I think the way I phrased it or set it up, I think I saved it. What do you guys think?